How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, and I'm in a undisclosed location here to test my new camera. Everything else isn't quite here yet, so some of the setup is the old setup. This is in glorious 4K, at least I hope it's in 4K. And here I'm going to discuss about Kevin Logan and why the guy just doesn't understand what the manosphere is. Now, as you guys know, he has a series called Descent of the Manosphere. It's some kind of pun. I think there's a book called Descent of Man, or there's some kind of saying, and he thinks he's being smart in referencing that. First, I must tell you guys what exactly is the manosphere. Let's define the manosphere. Well, you see, the problem with the manosphere is it's kind of nebulous anyway, but there are certain groups in there that constitute a manosphere. And I guess we can definitely say for sure that this is exactly what it is. The manosphere is composed of people who primarily appeal to men. They talk about men's issues, they talk about things to do with men in general. This could be MRAs, MGTOWs, pickup artists, you name it. Anything that is male dominated or male orientated, as it should really be, not dominated, that's the wrong word. That is what the manosphere is, and these people tend to consider themselves a part of the manosphere. Now, interestingly enough, anti-feminists are not considered part of the manosphere unless they are part of those groups. There is overlap, but you aren't necessarily part of the manosphere if you're an anti-feminist. But see, with Kevin Logan, he doesn't care, because the manosphere is everything that he hates. So even if you are not part of the manosphere, you will be part of this series where he basically goes through, allegedly anyway, he goes through everybody's videos and thoroughly debunks them. So let's just go through his playlist and we'll see how many people are actually part of this manosphere and whether or not he actually knows what he's on about. Spoilers, he doesn't. First off, we have somebody called Happy Humble Hermit. Never heard of him, don't particularly care. So let's move on. Next we have a lady called Daisy Cousins. I have no idea who she is. For all I know, she could be an alt-right. In fact, Happy Humble could be an alt-righter. Remember, it doesn't matter who you are as long as you're his ideological enemy. Thomas Baden Rice. I'm pretty sure that guy's not an MRA or a MGTOW or anything like that. I'm pretty sure he's just a political commentator. I don't know if he's on the left or the right, I can't remember. But no, he's definitely not part of the manosphere. The ICMI, of course, duh. It's the men's rights movement's main conference to discuss about men's issues. Although, I won't call it specifically a thing, it's more of an event, but let's just move on, guys. Apparently, MRAs also like football. He's a Birmingham supporter, in case you don't know, guys. And that's an issue, apparently. Rams Paul. Now, he is part of the manosphere, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's an MRA or a MGTOW or was both at one point. I think he definitely is part of the manosphere. He seems to be followed by a lot of MGTOWs and MRAs. Whether or not the MRAs like him or not, I don't know. But he seems to be followed thereabouts, so okay, there's one for you. MGTOW Knowledge Darius. Again, part of the manosphere. He seems to be improving as he goes along. We're going from the most recent, apart from the Britisher, which is very, very new. Again, not part of the manosphere, Kevin. All the way down to the bottom. For some reason, he decided to make a Descent of the Manosphere about Tommy Robinson's arrest. Tommy Robinson's not part of the manosphere. He's just a political commentator, activist, mainly to do with the left or the right. Brexit, Islam, things like that. It's nothing to do with men. Peter Sweden, apparently, you know, that guy who talks about Sweden and always goes on about hand grenade attacks. Yeah, he's not an MRA or an MGTOW or whatever. He doesn't talk about those issues. Deleted scenes from Sargon of Akkad. I guess that's spoilers because that was one of the first episodes, I believe. Not a MGTOW or an MRA or part of the manosphere. Anti-feminist, yes, but not a part of the manosphere. My favourite half-foo, Romy Millennial. Sorry, she's not a MGTOW or anything like that. Well, she can't be, she's a woman. But she's not an MRA or anything like that. Sorry, wrong. Sunrise Hoodie. Never heard of him, don't know. By the way, I forgot two people on this list. Bass Fizz, aka Zeus, and Mr. Dapperton, who for some reason Kevin Logan mistakes as Anarchy Ball. Actually, Kev, those are two different people. Anarchy Ball used to be with him in some kind of partnership, but they kind of disagreed on something and they now hate each other. I don't know if they've made up since, but Anarchy Ball and Mr. Dapperton, nah, they're no longer a double act anymore. So not only does he mistake people for being parts of communities that they're not a part of, but also he mistakes them for other people. Firstly, Zeus is just a Christian guy. Like, he's part of the culture war, he's on the opposite side of Kevin, but he's not part of the manosphere. And as for Mr. Dapperton, he's a libertarian. Again, opposite end of the spectrum, and they do obviously have disagreements on these things, but he's not part of the manosphere. He's more interested in freedom and guns and free market economics than men's rights and pickup artistry and MGTOW stuff
and whatever else. As for Zeus, he's somewhere in the middle. So that's that, guys. Sorry for almost forgetting you.
Gary Awesome, there's an interesting fella. I don't know if he actually is a part of the Manosphere or not. I don't know if he considers himself an MRA. I guess I could always ask him. I don't know. He does talk about men's issues, and he does talk about feminism, but just because you talk about men's issues, technically doesn't mean you're a part of the Manosphere. Because some people talk about it a lot and don't consider themselves MRAs or MGTOWs or pickup artists or anything like that. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one. Human. I don't know if that's just something about the term human or that's an actual group. No idea. Could be part of the Manosphere. Who knows? James Oss. He's a white supremacist or white nationalist, or he's on the right, sorry. He's on some kind of identitarian thing. It's just basically your opposite, Kevin. So I don't know why he's on there. He's not an MRA. Maybe he is. I don't know. He might be interested in men's issues. But I've never seen a video from him that shows him doing stuff like that. Sorry, I'm going to cross him off. Now, Coach Red Pill. Again, an interesting one. He's never said that he's part of the Manosphere, although he clearly looks like the type of person who would be like a life coach / PUA type of person. But again, he's never outright said what he is. He just makes videos for young men and gives them shit advice because he's a blue pill beta, not the red pill alpha like he likes to make people think he is. But I'm going to cross him off anyway because he's never outright said he is. MGTOW is freedom, the prepared mind. Well, I guess it speaks for themselves, I guess. Vox Day. He's just an alt-writer, or whatever he is these days. I don't know what he is. Yes, he's now reacting to the ICMIs every time they happen. So you can expect in the summer of this year that he's going to be responding to the Chicago event. Paul Joseph Watson. Imagine my shock. Sorry, he's not one of them. Millennial Woes. Again, the deleted scenes of that episode. We'll just skip the ones where he basically spoils them for us. Sorry, he's not an MRA or part of the Manosphere. He's just part of the white identitarian movement. Blair White. Blair White, really? No. Just no. Some message to Lacey Green. Again, she never will be a part of the Manosphere and will always be a feminist. Sorry, guys. She lied to you. Oh, Megan. See, I got jealous of old Megan because I was only used to respond to Kevin quite a lot when we were coming up as YouTubers. And to see him getting his old episode and I don't, considering that me and Kevin hate each other and he's blocked me on Twitter quite a few times, I'm really offended, Kevin. I thought you thought better of me. How come Meg gets one and I don't? Make one of me. This is why I'm making it, clearly. But no, Meg, as much as I love him, and as much as you hate him, he's not an MRA or anything like that. He's not part of the Manosphere. Milo Yiannopoulos. Or at least something about his decline and fall. He's not part of the Manosphere. He's just a conservative. Chris Reagan. Chris Reagan. Long man bad. Chris Reagan. You can tell by my reaction what I'm going to say. No, he's not.
And an actual MRA that I forgot to mention was Paul Elam, of all people. Paul Elam, yeah, actual MRA. But again, a very obvious one, Kevin. Come on, you gotta do better than that.
Computing forever. He's just some guy who used to do reviews, and now he decides he's a political commentator. Also, as part of Kilroy. He's not an MRA or part of the Manosphere, sorry. The satirician, that drunk. He's not part of the Manosphere. Black Pigeon Speaks. I don't think he is. He made them videos on men's issues, but that doesn't make him part of the Manosphere. Sorry. More ICMI stuff. Rocking Mr. E. I think he was at one point a part of it. I don't know if he still is. I might be wrong. He could just be a conservative YouTuber, but I think Bane666AU once told me about him. But I could be confusing him with another person. But I think he was at one point part of the Manosphere. Mr. Repsion. Again, this is another ideological enemy, although they're probably closer, really, than, say, some of the other people on this list. But no, he's not part of the Manosphere. Are you kidding me? An actual MRA, or, well, she's not an MRA, kind of, maybe. She's more MGTOW friendly. Diana Davidson. Yeah, she's part of the Manosphere. Brexit. What's that got to do with men? Hunter Avalone. Please. Really? No. The golden one. He's just a far-right YouTuber who's actually Karen Strawn, an actual MRA. Well done, Kevin, but that was an obvious one, wasn't it? Even for your potato brain. John the Other used to be an MRA, now he's a MGTOW. So yeah, he is part of the Manosphere. Obviously. That guy T? My nigga? No way. He's a libertarian. He's not part of the Manosphere. Sandman, well done, you got another MGTOW. The biggest one. Again, you can't fail with him. Undoomed. He's just an anti-feminist, anti-SJW, whatever. He's not part of the Manosphere. Unless he's come out and said he's an MRA. But I'm not seeing it. Bearing. Again, my pal Bearing and also my pal Undoomed. None of them are part of that at all. Matt Forney? I don't think so. I don't think he is. Thorium? Well, I don't know if he ever was. I don't remember when I used to know him. I don't know if he ever was part of the men's rights movement or in some kind of way, but he did do some videos on men's issues and men's history and things like that. His best video was about the white feather movement, if I remember correctly. But again, he's more in that grey area. I don't know. And now he's just, well, he's kind of disappeared. He's kind of an alt-righter now, and he seems to abandon that. He's more about the race as opposed to just, you know, trying to get everybody to get along. Oh well. Shoe on the head. No. But maybe she is for drag kids. Turd flinging monkey, congratulations. An actual Mikatow. But again, he's a big one, so it's obvious for your potato brain. The amazing atheist. The guy's gone on record saying that MRAs are as bad as feminists, showing that he doesn't understand the MRM at all. But hey, you know, let's not let that get in the way of his series, guys. Bernard Chapin, or Chapin, Chapon, I don't know. I think he was part of it at one point, but he's since moved away because I think the Manosphere refused to go down the racial route. I might be confusing him with somebody else, but yeah, he was at one point, but I don't think he is now, so I don't think that counts. Good fella. Now, he does make videos on men's issues, that is true, but I don't know if he's an MRA. Maybe he does consider himself some kind of advocate. He's in the grey area. Red Pill philosophy, part of the Manosphere, he's part of the Red Pill community. I know there's the Red Pill, then there's the Red Pill community, basically a mishmash of different angry people, basically. Yeah, I guess I'll give you him. TLD. Now, he does go on streams with the Honey Badgers a lot, but he's not part of the Honey Badgers, and I don't think he considers himself a Mikatow on MRA, although he hangs out with both communities. He's kind of an advocate, I'd say, but he's in the grey area, so I'm not going to give him...
Oh, I also forgot several more people. Stefan Molly meme, how did I miss that? My phone is crap. But basically, yeah, I think he is an MRA. He is part of the Manosphere, but since he hasn't done content on that in quite a while, I'm willing to bet he's kind of moved on from that into other territories. There's also Aaron Clery, who is somebody who does the types of videos that you could argue are for men in that he offers advice, but whether or not he's part of the Manosphere, I'm not really sure. And that's about it, guys. That's everybody that I've forgotten. Sorry, I was cold and it was wet and it was miserable, so I missed a few people. War Corps. Now, this was like the greatest ever rivalry between those two. War Corps isn't part of the Manosphere. I don't think he's ever said anything flattering about it, so sorry, he's not part of it. Thunderfoot, ironic. He's become as SJW as you now in many ways. He's not part of the Manosphere. Davis Orini. No, he's just an alt-righter, I'm pretty sure. He's not part of the men's rights movement or anything like that, not part of the Manosphere. I might be wrong, maybe he was at one point. Roosh V. Need I say any more? Yes, he is. He's part of the Manosphere. And finally, of course, the British. For some reason, episode 59's way at the bottom, but again, not part of the Manosphere, as I said before. So what can we glean from this video? What can we get from this? Well, Kevin Logan used the term Manosphere to tar all his enemies with one brush. Also, again, he thinks he's clever when he uses the term because I guess he thinks it's funny. I guess he thinks that he sounds smart. I don't know. He has no clue, like pretty much every feminist, what the Manosphere actually is, who constitutes it, and what they all believe. Because if you were to look at this playlist, you'd think it's just all these people who are part of this one community who must obviously think all the same things. They must have similar opinions on different topics and things like that. And if you were a new SJW fan who just subbed to him, you would obviously think that because you don't talk to the opposite side. When really nothing could be further from the case. This whole Manosphere thing, as much as I said that it incorporates all these different communities, they all hate each other to some degree, or they like each other to some degree. The MRAs kind of get on with the MGTOWs, but again, it's more the MGTOWs that aren't extreme that they get along with. Just like how none of them particularly like the pickup artists, and the pickup artists don't like them either. Roosh V, for example, hates MRAs, and again, much like the amazing atheist, kind of views them as just the same as feminists, which I would disagree with, and history will see if they do become like them. Point is, it's a series where he goes through and takes people out of context, as he usually does, and just misrepresents them for his agenda, his ideology. And I don't understand why people give him the time of day. This man has proven time and time again to be a dishonest character and actor, and I think you guys would be better off not talking to him, because he's just going to go and stab you in the back. He always does this. He'll be nice to you in person, but then he'll go and
do horrible things behind your back, say horrible things about you. He pretends to be the reasonable, moderate voice when he's anything but. He's one of the ideological foot soldiers. Do I really need to say any more? I mean, the only time he's ever actually done the opposite was against Ethan Van Sciver. That's only because Ethan Van Sciver purposely went in to attack him, just to eviscerate him, and he did. And also because Kevin Logan refused to allow him to debate Ren Famous, and then had the cheek to say that he didn't want to debate Ren Famous, which is absolutely bullshit. But anyway, I've said my piece. Hope you like the new camera, hope it looks good. It's a horrible rainy day in Manchester. My hands are getting cold, so until next time, it's been your boy, and I'll see you later.